Is the metaverse dead? Seriously, remember a few years back? Every company on Earth was slapping Meta onto their name, promising a digital utopia just around the corner. We were supposed to be living, working, and playing in a virtual universe by now. Fast forward to 2026, and for many, it feels like the biggest tech flop since Google Glass. The initial hype train has definitely derailed. Avatars still look a bit goofy, the headsets are clunky, and that seamless virtual world we were promised? It feels more like a collection of empty, disconnected digital rooms. But hold on. Declaring the metaverse dead might be the most premature call in tech history. Let's peel back the layers of hype and look at what's actually happening behind the scenes. Think about the early days of the internet. Remember dial-up? The slow, clunky websites? People called it a fad too. They said it was just for geeks and academics. Look at us now. The internet didn't just arrive overnight in its current form. It was built, piece by piece, over decades. The metaverse is on a similar journey. It's not a single product you can just switch on. It's a fundamental shift in how we interact with technology, and that takes time. So, what's the evidence that it's still alive and kicking? First, let's talk about the hardware. Yes, headsets were bulky, but the technology is advancing at an insane pace. We're seeing lighter, more comfortable glasses that are starting to look less like sci-fi props and more like something you actually wear outside. The processing power is increasing, resolutions are getting crisper, and hand tracking is becoming incredibly precise. This isn't just about making things look better. It's about making the virtual experience feel natural and intuitive, removing the barrier between the physical and digital worlds. The hardware is the gateway, and that gate is opening wider and wider every single year. Next, let's look beyond just social hangouts. The real tangible progress is happening in specialized fields. Take medicine, for example. Surgeons are using augmented reality to overlay 3D models of organs onto a patient's body during surgery, increasing precision to a level never before possible. Medical students are training in hyper-realistic virtual operating rooms, practicing complex procedures without any risk to real patients. This isn't a futuristic dream. It's happening in hospitals right now. The same is true for engineering and design. Car manufacturers are designing and testing entire vehicles in a shared virtual space. Teams of engineers from across the globe can collaborate on the same 3D model in real time, making adjustments, running simulations, and spotting flaws before a single physical part is ever manufactured. This saves millions of dollars and dramatically speeds up the innovation cycle. This is the industrial metaverse, and it's already generating massive value. It's not as flashy as a virtual concert, but it's arguably far more revolutionary. And what about work? The pandemic forced us into remote work, and while Zoom calls were a temporary fix, they're far from ideal. Metaverse platforms are tackling this head-on. Imagine a virtual office where you can walk over to a colleague's desk, brainstorm on a shared whiteboard, and feel a genuine sense of presence and connection, even if you're thousands of miles apart. Companies are heavily investing in this because it solves a real problem, making remote collaboration feel less remote and more human. It's about creating a sense of shared space and culture that video calls simply can't replicate. Now, let's address the elephant in the room: gaming. Gaming has always been the trailblazer for new technology, and the metaverse is no exception. We're moving beyond traditional games on a flat screen. Think about massive, persistent worlds where thousands of players coexist, building economies, creating content, and going on adventures. Games like Roblox and Fortnite were the early pioneers, showing us what's possible when you give players the tools to create their own experiences. The next generation of metaverse gaming will be even more immersive, with economies that bleed into the real world through NFTs and digital ownership, creating real careers for virtual creators and players. So, why does it feel like the metaverse is dead to the average person? It's because we're in what tech analysts call the trough of disillusionment. The initial peak of inflated expectations has passed, and now we're in the build-in phase. The quiet, heads-down work of creating the infrastructure, the standards, and the killer apps that will make the metaverse indispensable. We're moving from a single monolithic idea of the metaverse, pushed by one or two big companies, to a more decentralized, open ecosystem. Think of it less as one big digital country and more like a network of interconnected worlds, much like the internet today is a network of websites. Interoperability is the key word here. The big challenge is making sure your avatar, your digital items, and your identity can move seamlessly from one virtual world to another. It's a huge technical and political hurdle, but it's the one that everyone agrees is necessary for the true vision to be realized. When you can buy a digital jacket in one game and wear it in a virtual meeting in another, that's when things get really interesting. That's when the virtual economy becomes a real economy. So, is the metaverse dead in 2026? Absolutely not. It's just not what the initial hype promised it would be by now. It has shed its skin, moving away from a clunky, cartoonish novelty and into a powerful tool that's quietly revolutionizing industries. The consumer-facing, all-encompassing virtual world is still a way off, maybe 5 or even 10 years. But the foundations are being laid right now. We're seeing the practical, valuable applications emerge first. The fun, social stuff will follow as the technology matures and becomes more accessible and affordable for everyone. Think of it this way. The dream of a fully immersive, interconnected digital reality isn't dead. It was just sleeping. Now, it's starting to wake up, not with a loud bang, but with the quiet hum of progress in labs, factories, and operating rooms around the world. The metaverse isn't a place you'll go to. It will be a layer of digital information and experience woven into our physical world. The question isn't whether it will happen, but how we'll shape it. The next few years are going to be crucial. We'll see which platforms thrive, which standards win out, and how we navigate the complex ethical questions that come with blending our digital and physical lives. It's a marathon, not a sprint. The metaverse of 2026 is less of a destination and more of a construction site. And what's being built is the next generation of the internet itself. So, what do you think? Are you bullish on the future of the metaverse? Or do you think it's all just hot air? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to hit that subscribe button for more videos exploring the future of tech. See you in the next one.